Well, hello, y'all. We're live again. Y'all come on and pop in here and we'll see if we can get anybody in here. Whew. Rushing as always, guys. Rushing as always. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Clothes is falling apart here, guys. Clothes is falling apart. Hey, Havita. How are you, dear? See if anybody else is going to pop in here tonight. Hey, Joey, will you bring my sweater or else my flannel shirt? That little crapper is in the window, baby. Joey, it's in here. Get him out of the window. Her out of the window first before she knocks those flowers off. Get them to move that chair. The little kitten has done climbed up on the back of a chair and gotten up in the window and is in one of my flowers that's in the window, guys. I'm going to get this crazy little kitten out of there. Bring me that flannel shirt or that black sweater one. A little chilly in here tonight. It's always something, ain't it? Always something. She's a heathen, guys. I'm not kidding. A real heathen. Joey's getting me a sweater. I guess he is. Could have got him myself. Can you find it, baby? Either one, just one of them. Lordy, hey, wait. Joey, Wheat says hi.
Hey.
I had to get him to get me a sweater. Wheat, you missed it. This crazy little cat had done crawled up the back of the chair and was up in the window in my aloe vera plants. I don't know what we're going to do with her. So, it's Monday night, guys. It's Monday night. Oh, Havita, you have a package coming, honey. I just forgot to mail it. I thought I did, but it's been floating around in my purse for a while. So it went out in the mail today. I thought I had put it in the mail already. So you got something coming for your birthday, girl. Oh, Lordy. I've been busy, guys. Let me show y'all what I've done. I made cap for my granddaughter Haley's boyfriend, and one for her to match it or somewhat match it, and one for the baby to go with them. And then I've made one for another grandkid. So I'm going to make all the grandkids boggins this year. That's going to be part of their Christmas. Anyway, so I just thought I'd show y'all those. Wheat knows all about it. She's the one who showed me how to do them. See if we're going to have anybody in here, guys. See if we're going to have anybody in here. Not yet. Hey, there's the Moose. Hey. How are you? Glad to see you in here. Yeah, we had 29. Bill was asking me about how I did my stocks. And I told him I couldn't really tell him about it, but I would tell him where I had put mine, and then he could decide where he wanted to do his. But I thought I would wait until I see if anybody else wants to get in here and hear it. She's climbing up the back of the chair again, but I don't think she can get up there because we pulled the chair out from the wall. Yep, she's jumped back down, guys. She's a heathen, I'm telling you. It's a heathen. Hey, Crooked Peach, how are you? And there's Simply Jan. Hey, Jan, so good to see you. How are y'all tonight? Let's see. Oh, you want me to hold him up again? Come here, Allie. Come here, Allie. She's a cat. She may or may not come. Oh, y'all, the little bunnies have their eyes open. They are so doggone cute. And they're starting to get, oh, you want to see the hats? Well, diddly squat. There's one. Did it like you showed me at the top. Put the little double cuff at the bottom. Here's one for the baby. It's a little bit big for him, but I figured he's got all them newborn baby hats, but this one will feed him good by the time he's a year old probably. And then I made one to match for Haley, and I may put a pom-pom on the top of it, of this color. And then the husband one of the same color as the babies. So, come here, Allie. Come here, baby. Come here, Kiki. Come see me. Come see me, Alley Cat. Hey, Casper. Casper wants to get up and see me. Here's old nasty dog. Here's old nasty dog. Oh, we must have somebody new in here. Oh, goodness. Didn't see. Oh, yeah. Hey, Barb. How are you? Ain't he cute? Come here, Allie. Allie, what'd you do? She's got her. I found this, y'all. It was the best quarter I ever spent in my life. We went to the flea market here a couple of weeks ago, and they had this little wind-up chicken, probably come out of a McDonald's thing or something. But this cat has traced this little wind-up chicken all over the house. She drags it around with her mouth. She plays with it all over the floor. And then I had one of those little Beanie Babies. It's a little pink bear. And those two things are her favorite toys. Oh, you're welcome, Jerry. I try to pop in, and if I don't get to stay for the whole thing, I try to stay as much as I can. Hey, there's New Horizons. Hello. So glad to see y'all in here. Yeah, we've been rolling around here, guys. But I have to tell y'all, those little babies, I picked one of them up. First time I picked one up, it squealed like I had squeezed it or something. It almost made me drop it. It scared me so bad. And then I whacked my finger, processing. But not them, of course. Rosie Posey. Come here, Rosie. Fearless Rose. Fearless had to get in on the video too, guys. She had to get in on the video too. Bless her heart. She's doing much better, guys, and she has really gained. Oh, Rose, she has really gained the weight. Come on, Allie Cat, come here, Allie. Where you at, Allie? She has really gained the weight since we got those kidney stones out, and then since she lost the babies. Thank you so much. Come here, Allie Cat. Turn loose my coat. And here's the heathen, the little alley cat. Oops. She said, I'm not getting up there, Mom. Yep. Well, we'll wait a few more minutes before I start talking about my stuffs. So, what have y'all been up to? Boy, we have been rolling. I made up a really nice, pretty flower. Took it to the cemetery to put on my mom's grave, y'all. God. Oh, honey, it did scare me because, usually they're real quiet. They may try to get away from you, but they're real quiet. And when I picked this one up, they're about 3 weeks old now. And when I picked it up, bless its heart, it screamed that rabbit scream that's fearless, that attracts predators to it. I guess it just scared the poor little thing. And it screamed, and when it screamed, I jumped, and I almost dropped the little thing. I had it over the pen, so it wouldn't have fell far, but still, it scared me so bad. And I brought it out and was trying to get it used to me, but it was just so scared. So I'm giving it another week, and then I'll pick it up again. It's good to see all of y'all, though. We're going to see if we get anybody else in here. Give it another minute or two. Made soaps and cracked pecans, brought firewood in today. Yeah, they say y'all gonna get some more cold. I don't know if we're gonna get any or not. They talk like we may get a little bit of rain, guys. Oh, okay. They have 3 cats at New Horizon. Okay, cool. Well, this is the only we have a yard cat, a barn cat, or whatever outside, Cinnamon, but and he gets along well with this little kitten. We were kind of nervous about how they would react because her Cinnamon and another stray that shows up, or it may belong to somebody, but it shows up here every once in a while. It's a lot bigger than Cinnamon. And he comes in. Oh, it's coming in Wednesday. Yep. I think that's what I saw on the news. One of those broadcasts that was showing out through y'all's way out through there. Yeah, man. I'm hoping that we don't get it. It is raining down over in the Mississippi right now, so we'll see what happens. It says it's coming our way, but it was Atlanta news that I was watching, so I don't know whether we'll get any or not. We were supposed to have got it again. Oh, you started a strawberry bed. Cool. I love strawberries, man. I pick mine right out of. I don't ever get enough to bring in and make a pie or anything out of because I eat mine right out of the garden, honey. They don't even get time to get washed off. They get a blowjob right in my mouth. Oh, you got rain there today, Jan. Oh, Lordy. Well, it has been beautiful weather here. I've been running around shorts all day. Been out there doing and piddling and just running. We went and looked at the old end of Potts Road today. Hadn't seen it since I was 20 years old. And we rode all the way to the end and then rode up a little trail where probably some hunters had made or something just to see what was up there. And it was really pretty. There were a bunch of buzzards flying around. So I don't know if maybe the hunters had thrown out some, innards from a deer or something. I have no idea. Barb says she has a stray cat to show up there. Strangest thing I've ever seen. He'll hiss at me like a demon and then meow so sweetly. He won't let me touch him. I'm feeding him and talking to him. Oh, he'll come around. But it took the Cinnabon. It took him forever. And then he finally got to where he would come up on the porch at my daughter's down there. And then he kind of wandered around. Yep, you'll win him over. All right. Let me get my spectacles on here, guys. So you can see what I'm going to tell y'all. We went with Humana Insurance this time for next year. Got to get all the paperwork filled in because I was not happy with what we had before. I don't even know what it was, but I wasn't thrilled with it. And it also said we had so much money, a quarter to spend, on that some kind of program that they have. We never ended up getting any of that. Not that bothered me because it's not like we were starving to death or anything. But I mean, there are people that get that same insurance that are depending on that money. And I thought that's kind of crappy. If they tell you you're going to get it and then you don't get it and it doesn't come up. And then they say, oh, we don't give it to you like that anymore. You have to go to the CVS and you get it straight from them. But we tried that too. And they kept saying, well, our computer is down. It's not working. We went about 4 different times and I just said, the heck with it. It wasn't worth it. So, hey, Arlene, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I was kind of waiting to see if 29 was going to come. Belloop's going to get in here. I call him 29, guys. Gary. But anyhow, he asked me, so here goes. Let me see if I've even got it wrote down here, what I got mine divided into. Okay. I have mine in money market funds, large capital equity index fund, and Procter & Gamble common stock. That's how I've got it divided up right now. I have a little bit of stock with Coty. Coty, the makeup company, Coty. Very little. I mean, very, very little. Like 6 shares. I don't even know how much that is, but very little. Say 29 3 times. 29, 29, 29. Let's hope he don't attack me. Isn't that what you look in the mirror and you say, boogeyman, boogeyman, boogeyman? Or what was the movie all about? I can't remember now. And then he would appear and get everybody. One of them Halloween movies, guys. Whew. Oh. So anyway, that's that. And then I have money through a life insurance company with some money that I had built up in the bank. And so I rolled that in to see what it would do. I've never done it through the bank before. All of mine has been like through Duracell or monies that I put back like for my 401k and stuff like that. But now, guys, I'm not disappointed at all because Duracell matched us dollar for dollar up to 6% of our gross pay. And then we could put up to 16% of our pay in it, but they would only match it 50 cents after that first 6%. So they were matching 50 cents for every dollar I put in up to 16%. And I put in 16. First, they would only let us put 6% in. Then it went up to 10, and then it eventually went up to 16%. And as it went up, I went to the max because I figured, hey, you know, everything is happening in this world. We don't know if there'll be Social Security. And as of now, we still don't know what's going on. You never know. They talk like it's going to be privatized or whatever. So, you know, I figured, what the heck? I'm not going to have that much invested in it. I don't see the money. It's not in my hand. And if I don't have it in my hand, it's just like it's not there. So, you know, if I lose it, I hate it. You know, I'll cry. But and back in 2008, when everybody else, they had that little dip there and everyone else took their money out, I did not. I left mine in there and it all came right back in about 6 months. In fact, I lost quite a bit and it popped right back up there in just 6 or 8 months. So I was real lucky. I know 90% of the people that I worked with at Duracell pulled their money out then, and I did not. So in the long run, I was real glad because all them others pulled out after they'd lost their 30 or 40%, you know. Anyhow, this little heathen's in here biting on my toes. Thank God I put socks on. So, what all is going on with you guys this week? I am just seeing what in the world is going on around here. DJ, been checking out your videos lately. They have been really cool. Have not seen much more of Mama V. Have not looked this week to see if she's put anything out, to be honest with you. But seems like that little gal is in love. So anyway, we will see what happens with that. So you're staying busy. Yeah, you are staying busy. You're putting out quite a bit of shorts and things, you know. I have been so lazy, guys. I just have not done anything. I've misplaced one of my, you know, I'm so dingy, guys. Misplaced one of my GoPros. And the other one, something is happening to it. And I don't know how to edit with my phone, guys, because with Filmora, you have to pay the $20 or so for everything you put into Filmora. So I can't edit on my phone with it. And since I have an iPhone, I'm having a hard time getting my videos to go over from the iPhone. I have to go transfer them to Google. And then from Google, I transfer them to my computer. And then from my computer, I have to transfer them up to StreamYard or whatever through Filmora. So it is really a hassle. Very small changes to your channel. Going to be scheduling some live streams here in the future. Great, great. Looking forward to that. Maybe get to know you a little bit better. So, guys, I've not been putting a whole lot out. I'm sorry. I will try to do better, but I'm not going to make any promises. I am, let's see, Divided Daylilies this afternoon. Back is talking ugly to me, I bet. Not worth shooting. You want to know what those golden years are? Honey, we wore them out in our 40s. I think 40 was the golden years and we just didn't know it. You know, they ought to let us work up until we hit 40. And then from 40 to 50, we ought to be able to play. And then from 50 on, we ought to be able to do a desk job or some kind of little sit-down job that we can do, or greeting folks at Walmart and get paid the same, because doggone it, after about 60 or 65, our bodies get absolutely wore out. You know, I think my granddaughter may have it going on. You know, she's 26, just turned 26 on the 17th. And she's worked all kind of jobs, but they've all been these, you work so many months here and so many months there through these different, all over the country at different states, at big parks and like Yellowstone and the Outer Banks, and just some cool places that she's getting to see. She's talking about going and doing a ski resort. I don't know if she'll do it. She's about like me when it comes to this real cold weather. You know, us Georgia folks, we used to cold weather, guys. Not like that. Not like they have at ski resorts, the snow and ice and all that stuff on the ground. We don't know how to drive in it. Yeah, I know. Supposed to know how, but we don't. You ought to see it. If we get an inch of snow on the ground, a little bit of ice on the road, they shut the schools down here. We don't have machines that'll scrape the ice or the snow, you know, because we don't get it but once in a blue moon, you know. So everything shuts down here. I mean, they just threaten it and it shuts down. Hey, there we go. How are you? It has been a long time. And you got some cool videos. I love some of the music that you put out on your video. Really do. Let's see. From Nigeria, that's right. I remember you. I've watched quite a few and commented on some of your videos, your little music videos, your lives from, I guess, your music videos introducing different channels or different musical people. Some are good. Some I'm not really into. I'm not really into the rap stuff. You know, I'm old. What can I say? Rap wasn't around when I come along. Anyway, but I love the classical type music that you had on there. And some of the jazz and just, you know, I love music, but I'm just not, my mind and my ears can't keep up with the rap. It just don't do it for me. So, but I love to watch some of the people that are putting the music out. Now, that's really interesting. That is really interesting just to see them, see how they're dressed and all that. Hey, there is Heartland, Tamara, and David. How are you? Or Tamara, I'm assuming David probably hasn't gotten in yet. Or you're doing dinner. Bless your heart. But we've just killing time here tonight, saying hey to everybody, seeing what's going on out in the world. Yeah. And got a video the other day from remember the little boy that came on and was telling me how pretty I was and all that, and I thought it was going to be a creep. It turned out he was really a little boy, about 7 or 8 years old. And, you know, I've got my videos that said that it's not for kids, but yes. David's on his way in and you're cooking dinner. That's right. See there, girl, I'm paying attention. But, yeah, I saw a couple of little videos that he's been putting out. They've been really cute, guys. I don't know if you guys remember him. I can't even think of the name of his channel right this minute, but he was so cute. He was out there showing one of his buddies how to do cartwheels, and they was doing all kind of crazy stuff. It was really cute. Anyhow, so I just thought it was funny that he came on my video and one of my lives and started talking to me and all, and it was just telling me, he said, "Oh, you're so pretty," and I thought, "Oh, here we go." How that goes. What's up with the ads? I don't know. There's been 3 during this. 3? There's usually maybe 1, 3. Holy cow. I don't know. I have no clue. This is through YouTube Studio. StreamYard stopped letting us do lives on their channel without paying for them. And so can't afford to do that. So maybe it had something to do with something I hooked up or opened or set up or something on it, because there's a million little things you have to hit on there. I'll try to look at it better this next go round, guys. Sorry about that. So don't have a clue. Let's see. 3 of them. Wow, that's a lot. We hadn't been on here no time. Oh gosh, guys. I went out and covered all my plants up, and then it's been 75 degrees, so I had to go rake all the straw back away from my plants. And I guess I'll get them raked back up again. The next couple of days, I've got to get out there and really scrub my. I hope you are paying well for doing this. I know you don't control it. They're paying you well. They ain't paying me crap, honey. I'll tell you the truth. I think I have made less than $300 the whole time I've been doing YouTube. And every penny of that went to breast cancer research. So far, so good. Yeah, so I uncovered everything. And then now I'll probably, the way they're talking, we're going to have a cold spell come back in after this rain that's supposed to be coming through. So I'm probably going to have to get back out there and put the straw back up. But I did bundle it up right beside everything. So all I got to do is pile it back up over it, guys. I was glad to see that. And it's cooler on this side of the house than it is in there in the den where I was at before I started this live. So I had to get Joey to bring me a sweater out, guys. I just had on one of these little spaghetti strap shirts in there. Yep, gonna get cool again. My kids from Ohio are here. Well, they're not here. They came down. This is Monday. They got here on Thursday night, Friday night. I don't know. Couple of days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, they came, drove down. They had a blowout, tore up the side of their camper. Had to get that worked on. Had to get 2 more spares in case something else happened. Then they had somebody claim they hit them, and it was kind of weird because it's on the front part of their camper, not at where it turns, but about 10 foot down the side. And it hit their door, supposedly behind the driver's side door. Now, that's kind of hard to do. It had a big dent on their vehicle and only a little tiny scratch that they said had already been there on their vehicle. So I don't know what's going on. They said they're going to, they didn't claim. They said that they did not feel they hit anyone, did not realize they hit anyone if they did. So I guess they're going to, tell the insurance company that and see what happens. I don't know whether the insurance will take it up or how that goes, because it was on personal property. So, police came out and wrote down that it was reported, but they said they can't determine anything on private property like that. And I don't know if you guys know, whacked off a pile more of my hair again. Had to do something. My hair is so thin, guys. It is just falling. It is just, I'm going to be bald-headed another year or 2 if it keeps going like this. So I just whacked off a pile more of it, see if I can get it to grow. All insurance is a scam. I can believe that, girl. I can believe that. They do take you, that's for sure. And Chris was telling me that it looked like that they had hit something in the door or something had hit them. And, they were just looking for somebody to blame it on. Or to maybe they had an accident and didn't want to report it, so they were looking for somewhere. It looked like it had been there a while, is what Chris was saying. And the scratch on their camper was definitely had been there a while. You could see that on their camper. And it was just a little tiny scratch on their camper where that door was pretty chunked in. He said it was definitely a cave in on their door. So he doesn't see how in the world they could claim that they hit them with the side of the camper, the flat side of the camper, and put a caved in their door like that. But I guess insurance will see about that. But anyway, they got down here, and they didn't get here till real late because, with having all this stuff happen, sat there waiting on the police to come. And then because it wasn't an emergency and you're in Atlanta, they had to wait for an hour and a half at the gas station they had stopped at. And then they finally got back on the road. They didn't get here until late. Well, they didn't even hook up the sewage or anything. They dropped the stabilizers, legs or whatever, hooked up to, I have a camper hookup out here, hooked up to the electricity, talked to us for about 10 minutes and went to bed. They were back up and gone before 8 o'clock the next morning. And Chris had to do a test. He's going to college, and his is online, the college he's on. I think it's, I can't even think of the name of it. But anyhow, so he had to get up that morning and take a test before they could leave out. So I wasn't expecting them to leave that early. So anyhow, they left out, and they're in Universal Studios, and they're doing 4 different parks down there, staying at a KOA campground in Orlando. And then from Orlando, they'll go to Lake City or Lulu, Florida, where Grandma used to live when she was alive. And the family has a family reunion at Thanksgiving every year down there. And then from there, they'll come back up here, and they'll be back here on the 27th. And that night, and they will park back in their camper spot, and they will hook up everything that time. And then on the 27th, hopefully they'll be here early, and we can hang out. They can hang out with her dad and all that some more. And then they're going to his parents' house on Friday, and then they'll spend the day here with us on Saturday. So when they're coming like that, and it's the whole family, and you got so many people in so many areas that they try to see when they do get home, you don't get to see them much, guys. Don't get to see them much. But that's just the way it is. So we're just glad to see them all we can. Anyway, and our granddaughter Victoria ran a 3K, did great in it. She ran with her dad, Chris, and they had a great time. She had just about quit running with her dad. In fact, she had not even been out in practice for several months. And then he came in and said that him and some of the guys from his shop were going, he's in the military, were decided to do the run. And so she says, well, I'll just run with y'all. So she did, and she ran the whole thing. Of course, when Jacob was little, he did he did the 5K, and I think he did a 20K. And then that was one day, and the next day they did a 5K. So he ran and won for his age group. So we were real proud of him. But, he's out of that. He's a big boy. He has great big knees, and he started having a lot of problems with swelling around his knees, around his top of his knees and all. So the doctors recommended that he did not get out there and run on the road like that. So he's not doing that anymore. But he is doing really good with his chef school that he's going to in Ohio, and loves it, and he is doing fantastic. Well, hey, Bill, how are you? Good to see you in here. I was just telling everybody that my rabbits, the little babies, are doing great. They got their eyes open. they're already getting out of their little box, chasing their mom around. And I reached in and picked one up earlier, and it squealed, screamed. It's more like a scream. Scared me. I almost dropped the little devil. First time I picked one up. So I put it back thinking maybe in another week it won't be so bad. So anyway. So have you had any luck selling your cabin there, Bill? No, that'll be exciting things to move on to. Uh, so anyway, just got a notification from somebody, but anyway, I cut that sucker off so it wouldn't go to ringing. You're in talks with someone. All right, all right. Maybe you'll have good luck with it. Good luck with it. So it looked like you had it insulated pretty good. Does your wood heater in there keep it pretty warm inside that little cabin? And it's pretty good sized little cabin out there. I was surprised when you said that the plywood was only 1/4 inch plywood out there, though. I was really surprised about that. I know it's hard to haul materials out like that and not have a lot of weight materials out there. So, have you decided if you're going to come around here and buy something? No, you came down and visited. Anyway, I'll save that for another day. Anyhow, oh, yeah. But, dang, y'all, you know I'm brain dead. It went away, whatever it was I was going to say. Well, so we'll think of something else here in a minute. Way too warm. Okay. 12 by 16 with a wood stove designated. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have one of those up in the shop up there, up in the barn, so I know how that goes. It's a very nice heater, but I need to sell it because it's for a full-size house, yeah. Has the glass doors, and you can put wood in from the side or the front. It's a really nice heater. But I forget the name of it, but anyway, that one's just sitting there because I have not got it hooked up to anything. We thought about putting it in the greenhouse, but then I don't want to have to go out there and keep it stocked to keep the greenhouse warm. So I'm just not going to work on it. But good luck at selling it. I hope you find somebody that's really interested. And they come up with the cash. That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Oh. So anyhow, mine is still plump, plump, plump. My chickens have really been showing out laying eggs, guys. I don't know what the deal was. Half the summer that I wouldn't get but 3 or 4 eggs, and here lately I've got 3 18 packs on the counter right now. So we're going to start having deviled eggs. I'm making deviled eggs to take for Thanksgiving when we go to another friend's house too. And I guess I'm going to make a red velvet cake, guys. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know it, but I did do a video on how I do my red velvet cake, and they turn out delicious. Easy peasy recipe. So anyway, several hours away from where you live. Cool. Jan says she likes it hot. Well, Jen, I don't like it suffocating, but now I do like it warm. We keep our house about 68 degrees all the time. That way, when we do go out, we don't freeze to death when we walk out the door. If you keep your house at 75 or 80 degrees in the wintertime, or 78, which a lot of people like to keep their house around 78, then you go out the door and you freeze when it's 50, So anyway. Oh, Lordy. So anyhow, but I don't know. Let's see. No, 5 inches of snow they're asking about. I made some little hats. I was showing them out earlier. This one I made for one of my granddaughters, and I'll probably put a pom-pom that's this color right on the top of it. Just been killing time, doing something I can do inside the house. Did up a really pretty plant. poinsettias to take up to the cemetery for put on my mom's grave to finally put it up there. I made it up Saturday. I said, well, I'm going to take this up to the cemetery. Kept messing around, never did take it. Claimed I was going to do it Sunday, didn't do it Sunday. Claimed I was going to do it Sunday, claimed I was going to do it today, and finally got it up there today. I don't know what it is about me procrastinating. I guess that's what it is. But I've been asked to bake deviled eggs for Kevin's Christmas party for work. Cool. 68, that's freezing. Boy, I'm telling you what, when my mother-in-law, before she passed away, when you went in her house, honey, it was so doggone hot you could not breathe in the bedroom. I mean, in the living room in there. We would have to walk out of there and get some breaths every so often so we wouldn't pass out in there. I wanted to get off, slip off nothing, and be running around naked in her house. It was so hot. But she was 80-something years old. So, I mean, older you get, I think the thinner your skin gets and the colder you get. Because Joey is sure complaining about cold now more than he used to. Few dustings recently. We have about a foot on the ground now. Holy cow. I was saying earlier, if we get a sprinkle, a dusting of snow here, they shut the schools down. A lot of the businesses close. These people down here in Georgia do not know, and they're this far down in Georgia, they do not know how to drive in snow or ice or sleet or any of that precipitation on the road like that. Oh, I love wood heat, though. Wood heat, I love the smell of the wood burning in the fireplace or in the wood heater, and I like to be able to see it. So having one with the glass on the doors is really nice. I have misplaced the glass for my wood heater, my fireplace insert. And so I'm going to have some new glass made. And I know that's going to be expensive, but I'm going to have it done because I just like watching the fire burn. Cemetery where your mom and dad are buried recently decided to rule no one can leave flowers or trinkets on the grave. What? That's weird. Is it a regular cemetery or is it one of those that has just the little ground markers? They have them now that you can only use the one little flower pot about this big around that has a little prong on the bottom you stick in the ground. That's the way they are here. And then we have a natural cemetery here that's where, you're not cremated or anything. You're just casket, if there is a casket, it's made of wood and you're not put in a vault or anything. So your body just naturally goes back to the earth, I guess. I ought to do a video on it, I guess, because it is interesting to think about, because that's the way things used to be. My mother's house used to get warm, especially in the room where it was located. All you had to do was walk out of that room to cool. Yep, that's the way her house was. You could walk back into the dining room, and it was a lot cooler there than it was in the living room or the main part of the living room where she had her wood heater, because she'd have her furnace set on 80. And then she'd have the wood heater going and wide open. We could not keep kindling. And I don't know if you guys know what fat lighter is, or lighter wood, or whatever. We call it lighter here. So it's like a starter. It's the heart of a pine tree, and all it's chrysoed inside the very center of it. And then you can just light it with a match. Well, we can make up a bundle of it about, 6 or 8 inches around, and that'll last us a week or two. Well, you can make her up a bundle like that, and it'd be burned up one day. She threw that sucker in there. She was so funny doing that. Yes, bless her heart, that's just the way it was. And you couldn't tell her, And then on top of that, she had to have the newspaper. You had to save all your newspaper and stuff so that she could wrap up all that squash, wash up, squash up, whatever, wrinkle up all the newspaper and stuff it in there too. So when she lit it, she'd have that big blame all at one time. So, I guess it's just whatever you get used to doing. And at her age, it didn't matter. We were always just worried she's going to burn the house down one day. Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all for all the love. Appreciate that. Yeah, we've been, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Would open the bedroom windows up in the winter and freeze us out. Well, she did not want she did not want y'all to stay very long, did she? She was from Germany. She was used to it. Yeah, my mother's house used to get warmest, but yep, read that already. Yeah, that's the way it was at our house. Yeah, Germany, those people there are used to the cooler weather, definitely, than here. Now, when I went to Germany, I went 3 times, I think, and it was all in the same year and a half period. And it was one of those, La Nina, whichever one, that's when it's a warmer time. So there was not a whole lot of snow when I was there, or a whole lot of bad, I don't know, whatever you call it. Jan likes it 70 to 75. Well, 68. I keep mine about 68. Now, when we build a fire in the living room, in the wood insert, fireplace insert, whatever, the wood heater, it will heat the house up in there. And I have to turn the ceiling fans up on high to kind of circulate it through the rest of the house, because I live in an old house and the rooms don't flow like they do in the newer houses. You know how that goes. It's a hallway, and then there's a room here and a room here and a room here. They're just kind of not spaced out like these newer houses are. If it wasn't for rain and cold, it wasn't training. I can't imagine. Yep. Oh, yep. I can imagine. Yep, yeah. I can imagine, because, man, I'm telling you, it gets cold. You can have a headstone on a slab, but that's all. Well, that is so wild. A lot of times when you put those sprays or whatever, they slide down over the top of the headstone with a little clamp like things, and they slide on there, and that's how they're supposed to stay. Well, if the wind blows, it'll blow them off, especially if they're top heavy. So I used to always take a wire, like a stiff coat hanger or something, and hook it to the back of it, and I'd pull it down and stick that wire down in the ground. Well, mine would not blow away, but then the guy that cuts grass complained that somebody was putting coat hangers around their grass. And I said, well, that was me. He was complaining to us about it. I said, well, that was me. He said, that's it keeps them from blowing away. So anyway, I had to quit doing that. I guess I wasn't supposed to be doing that. Oh, Lord, it's always something. Make sure we got it all down. But yeah, so, but she would get out there and she'd have her little hat on her head, and she'd have her little sweater on, and her undershirt, and her sweater, and her big coat, and her gloves, and her hat, and she'd be out there scooting across. That lady could get around a whole lot better than me and Joey could. At the time she passed away, she was still getting it across the ground out there. Bless her heart. She was a tough old lady. That's for darn sure. Yeah, I remember the days when all we had was a fireplace. And the fireplace, one side of you were burning up, and if the back side was cold, and you just kept rotating your body around to stay warm. That's how we did it here. I remember we used to didn't have a bathroom, guys. And so you took a bath in like a dishpan. And so we'd run everybody out from in there. The girls would go in, we'd have to bathe, and then the boys would go in. So, it was terrible. But you were half naked, from here up, you'd be naked. You wash all this, and from here down, you'd be naked. So while you were washing, it was freezing the part that wasn't facing the wood heater or the fireplace, and you'd have that sucker rolling. Yeah, Aunt had an outhouse. We had an outhouse too. And it was up the hill, and boy, it seemed like that was a long ways at night to have to go. Yep. The guys just walked out on the porch and went over the side, you know. Those girls weren't that lucky. Lord. Tamara says she's never been to Germany, but David has. Was David in service over there, Tamara? Yep, especially in the wintertime, girl, especially in the wintertime. And the fire rotisserie dance at my granny's, and I miss it. You know, that was when you had the feather mattress that was on top of your old cotton mattress. You had a cotton mattress that's this doggone thick, probably a foot thick. And then they put the feather mattress on top of that. And then your grandmama throwed them old heavy homemade quilts. And they wasn't made with this little thin stuff like you get nowadays to make a quilt out of. They had real thick cotton in them. And they put about 4 of those quilts on you, and you were stuck. Whatever position you were in, you had a heck of a time if you wanted to roll over. Because you couldn't roll over, I remember as a kid. And we'd come over here and spend the night, and she'd make us a pallet on the floor in front of the fireplace. Because this was my grandmama's house back when I was a little girl. So we'd have our pallet on the floor, and there'd be, 3 or 4 quilts on the floor because we didn't no carpet. It was just like an old linoleum rug back then. And so she would make our pallet on the floor, and then we'd have 3 or 4 quilts on top of us. And it was about the same thing. But I mean, if you ever got stuck in the bed, though, she got you in a bed with between that feather mattress and those quilts on top of you, your butt didn't get cold. And she had a brick, like a house brick, your house was made with. And she had a little quilt cover that she'd put over it. And she'd set that brick right up in the fire and get it real warm, and then she'd stuff it down in that little quilted cover that she made, and she'd button it up and stick it under the covers like a bed warmer. 30 pounds of quilts. I know that's right. Once you got that little section warm, you wanted to stay in that section, because if you ever thrown your foot out, man, it was like, woo! Dry off in the shower with a towel around me to keep the curtain. I know that's right. I still do that, Jan, to this day. Isn't that horrible? So I know exactly. A lot of people, they'll get out of the shower and dry off and all that. I got my towel hanging right there. I drag it over there. It's got a door there. I reach up above it and drag my towel in, and I'm dried off and wrapped up before I ever come out of the shower. All I got to dry from there is the bottoms of my feet. Yep, those old-timey quilts that people made, because they actually had to puff the cotton. You didn't buy cotton in these rolls like you do now. Back then, they had to actually puff out the cotton and stick it in there, and it was super thick. And it was that wasn't the perfect grade of cotton either, because a lot of them growed their own cotton to do it with. So, yep, I have a feather pillow here at the house, and I used to sleep with that thing always until I started having sinus problems. And they begged me to get rid of it. So it could have been the old feather pillow was falling apart, because I'd had it for half my life, guys. So it was probably 25, 30 years old, at least. Same old pillow. I used it forever. Yep. Always cool. And if not, you just flip them over. That's right. I flip my pillow right now, the one I have. I flip it all night long. I mean, I may flip it 4 or 5 times during the night. Yep, in the South, you had cotton, and every little farm had their own little rows of cotton too, just for stuff like that, But that's just the way it is, and everybody grew tobacco back in the day. Picked some cotton, I never picked cotton, but I picked tobacco. And back then, you reached down around the bottom, and you peeled off those bottom leaves and bundled them up, and you walked to the next one, you peeled off the bottom leaves. And then all of them was in a bundle, and you had them tied up. You'd leave them at the end of the road and you start another road, leave them at the end of that road, go down the next road. So that's just the way it was back in the day. It's sticky on your hands when you're picking it. And sometimes it'll make you itch. Some people, tobacco makes them itch, and some people it does not. I didn't have any problem with the itching. Coal burners for heat. Wow, we didn't have coal burners. We did. Our school, that all the schools that I went to had big boiler type furnaces, and they were piped, and each room had its own little boiler. Now, you didn't have any air conditioning like these kids now. They've got it made. They got the internet. They don't have to tote all their books around, all that stuff. Heck no. Thank you, Havita. No, we didn't have all that stuff, honey. Had a small gas stove. Yep, Jan. I know. Honey, we had a kerosene heater when I was a little bitty kid, and we lived in this really, really old house before we lived here. And it had this brown jug, and you filled it up with kerosene, and then you reached down the bottom, it had a little hoop on it. You flip that sucker over real quick because it would stop it, about like how about how when you fill up your dog's water and the thing comes out, and then as soon as it goes back up, it stops it. Well, that's the way this did. And so you had to flip it over upside down and get it back in that heater real quick, or you poured your kerosene out everywhere. So Mom got really good at flopping that, that bottle back around. And that sucker would burn a long time. And back then you could buy kerosene super cheap. But kerosene is outrageous now. It's like diesel fuel used to be really cheap until they started talking people into buying diesel vehicles. And then the diesel went expensive. And then now all of it's after products or leftover products from gasoline, diesel and kerosene, all that is. Let's see, one-room schoolhouse had a wood stove. Wow, no, we didn't have the one-room schoolhouse, but now my mom, when she went to school, the same elementary school that I went to, that was the whole from elementary all the way to high school then, and it was much smaller. It had 2 rooms, I think like 6, some of the littler school grades were in one room and the others were in the next room. And then half the year when it got cold, all of them was in one room. So, and she said that the older kids would have to help the younger kids, a lot. The teachers expected them to help. So basically the kids stopped the kids. Oh, they're telling Jovita to hush. Jovita, if we run over, honey, you just go on. That's okay. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Tamara. I hope we have a great Thanksgiving. We're going to our son's house. They've invited us to come over. They have the younger two, the youngest granddaughter of ours. They've invited us over. I don't think any of the other kids are going to go, but like I say, Brandy and them will be here right after Thanksgiving. And then we'll have a dinner here, or we'll all go somewhere and eat. I told them we may just go somewhere and eat, so that way we can go to like a buffet or something. Everybody will have a choice of something to eat instead of having to, just eat one meal, what we fix. You love being the elders. We get invited to. I know it. Isn't that right? Isn't that cool? Yeah, thank you so much. You and Charlie have a good night. Take him out and kiss him good night for me. No, that would be nice, girl. That would be nice. Wish I could bring you one. I would. Guys, but yeah, when we were kids, there's an old schoolhouse that we used to go to for family reunions just right over here in Fredonia, Alabama. And it's got the school, and it's still got the old boards. It even has still got some of the slates in there. I mean, it is really cool. The old floor, the old rough floors and all. That is a really cool old schoolhouse. But guys, I guess we're going to try to get out of here. We are a minute over according to this, but according to the timer here, it says I got 15 seconds. So y'all be nice to people. We don't know what people are going through. What makes people commit suicide and do some of the things they do. You know, a lot of people react in the moment and don't think about stuff in the long run. So let's try to be nice to people because we don't know what's going on in the world. Have a great night, everyone. Thank y'all all for coming in, hanging out with me tonight, and we will see y'all all next week. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Love y'all. We'll see y'all Monday. Bye-bye.